Okay, in this video we're going to have a look at alloys and what alloys mean and what are the advantages of using alloys. Before we do this, let's have a look at what we mean by an alloy. So an alloy is a mixture of metals is the definition. What does that mean? Well, here in this box here, you can see this is a pure metal and all the metal particles are the same type. Okay, so that means in our example, this one only contains one type of element inside it, and the particles are all the same size. Because of that, because they are all the same, particles are all the same size. And what that means is that these particles are arranged nicely in these rows, and these rows you can see would be able to slide. So in this example, the layers can slide, and because those layers can slide, this pure metal is going to be malleable and it's going to be quite soft, because these layers, if you hit them with a hammer, are going to slide and move across each other. If we compare this to this second picture, then what you can see here are we've got, because it's an alloy and it's a mixture of metals, we've got two different types of particles in here. So we've got these particles that are the same as the original one, and we've got these new particles in here which are a different size. And because of a different size, they have disrupted the layers. Okay, so this key thing here is that they have or they contain different sized particles, and what that does is it disrupts the layers, and the effect that has is the layers will not slide. So the layers will not slide, and therefore, because they won't slide, the material becomes stronger. So it becomes a stronger material, so therefore the alloy has had a change in properties, and in some cases that can be really good. For example, if you're doing construction, you want the material to be stronger to build from, and that's a good step forward. Here's some more examples of this to illustrate this. So here we're looking at steel, and steel is an alloy of carbon with iron, and there's different types. You can have steel with a very low percentage of carbon, and then steel with a slightly higher percentage of carbon. If you have a slightly lower percentage, then it does make it a little bit stronger, but it still allows this steel to be malleable. So it makes it a little bit stronger, but leaves it to be malleable. An example where we use this kind of steel is in car panels, because we can bend and shape them to the designs that we want. If we use a higher carbon steel, so that contains more carbon, it's going to be more disruption of the structure, then that actually becomes stronger again. And therefore that's really useful in construction. If you're building buildings or bridges, then you want them to be strong, you would get a higher carbon steel because there's more carbon inside it, and that would cause it further disruption, as we've seen, to the structure and make it a stronger material. And the final example we've got here is stainless steel, and stainless steel is contains chromium and nickel with the iron, and what that does is it prevents it from rusting, so it becomes corrosion resistant. And because it's corrosion resistant, then we use it in cutlery. Knives and forks are made from stainless steel, and as you know, they don't rust, whereas if we just had it as a piece of iron, then it would rust quite quickly.